A project requires 9 activities, A to I, to be completed. The duration in hours and the immediate predecessors of each activity are shown in the table below. The minimum completion time for the project in hours is, and here are our 5 options. Okay, so from 14 up to 35 hours. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a network diagram to represent this set of activities or this sequence of activities. So let's start. So we have activity A is our starting activity. It has no immediate predecessor. So let's start off this way. So there's A, and its duration is 4 hours. Okay, so we can see from the table that activities B, C, and D all depend on A. So we can do it this way. Okay, so B, C, and D. So just draw it large enough so that nothing's sort of squashed in too much that you can't see all the detail. Okay, so B is 3 hours, C is 7 hours, and D is 2 hours. Okay, now activity E depends on activity B. And that takes 5 hours. And as I do each one, I like to also just tick them off to say that I've taken them into account. So E, yep, I've considered that one. F depends on C. Okay, now E and F have to come together, so I might draw it this way. Okay, so that's F, and F is 2 hours. Okay. Now G depends on E and F. Okay, and that takes 4 hours, so we draw G from E and F. But notice later that G and H have to come together, and H is also drawn from D. So what we could do is we'll draw G down this way. Okay, and G is 4 hours, so that's drawn from E and F. And from activity D, yep, so we've done this one here. So from D, we draw in activity H, okay, and G and H have to come together because that's where I is drawn from. Okay, so that's activity H, and that's 5 hours. And our last activity here, activity I, that depends on G and H, and I might just draw that one sort of that way as I've just run out of space. Okay, so, and let's call that activity I, since that's what's called in the table, and that's 3 hours. Okay, so at this point, we need to do the forward scan. Okay, so, and the forward scanning is what gives us our minimum completion time. So I might actually use a different color, just so we can see some of the detail. Okay, so starting off at 0, okay, so at this point, we're at the 4 hour mark. Okay, so 4 plus 3, that's 7. Okay, now I'm not going to write anything here just yet, so because there's 2 ways to get to this vertex. 4 plus 7 is 11. Okay, 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay, now 11 plus 2 is 13. 7 plus 5 is 12. So we're going to write 13 here. It's always the larger of the times when we're considering multiple ways to get to a vertex. Okay, now 6 plus 5 is 11, 13 plus 4 is 17, so that's the higher of the two. 17 plus 3 is 20. So answer C, 20.